I wanted to talk to you a little bit more because, after looking at your background a little bit, I saw about the murder of that little girl, and I just wanted to talk to you a little bit about that. So they let you register without an address, and
Yeah.
that's allowed?
I guess so. They ain't put me back in prison yet.
When did you, so you got out early, because you were sentenced to 30 years. How did you get out early?
I don't know. It's 2 and 1.
What do you mean?
Up there in Illinois you're talking about?
Yeah.
Well, it's 2 for 1. You do, supposedly if you do, it's 2 for 1. You do 1 day, you get 2 days off. You get 2 days.
So how many years did you end up getting? Like 15?
Then they brought me back from here to do parole time up there.
And then, did the victim's family have to speak? Was there a parole hearing or anything when you got out?
Don't tell me nothing.
There was no meeting or anything when they let you out? They just let you out for good behavior or something?
Good behavior. Young people don't care about good behavior.
15 years is not very long.
Well, you ain't lived in them places.
Well, for killing a little girl. So you were in your 20s when you were in your 20s when you killed her?
Well, I don't want to talk to you. Let you get out of here.
Well, I just
get lost. Bother someone else.
Huh?
I don't want to. Where are you from?
Sun Sentinel.
Who are they?
The newspaper right up a block up. The city's talking about getting the homeless people out of the parks and setting up, as I told you the other day.
What does that have to do with me?
Well, you're homeless, and so that was why I talked to you in the first place.
I'm not interested in them places.
Well, so now my question would be, should people be worried about having you in the parks? That's where kids play.
Well, you better go talk to them.
Well, I'm just asking you, are you...
I don't know what you're driving at.
Are you a threat to children? That's the question I would ask you.
Just get out of here. Just get out of here and leave me alone.
Well, I just wanted to ask you.
Just get out of here and go bother someone else.
Well, is there anything that you want to say about that crime?
What's it to you?
It's interesting.
Huh?
I want to know. You're living in the city parks.
Why don't you go talk to the sheriff or somebody?
Well, because I'm asking you. It's about you.
I don't have to speak to you.
Well, I agree. I'm just asking you.
Asking me what?
If there's anything that you have to say about that crime, it was a long time ago. Are you a threat to kids? Why do you hang out in parks?
I don't even know where you're from.
I live here in Broward.
Huh?
I'm from Plantation.
Where?
Up the road. You mentioned Vietnam a few times.
So, you care.
I'm curious
Curious about what?
about your life and what happened, and because I'm a reporter. The Sun Sentinel. Has nobody asked you about it in a long time?
About what?
About that little girl that you killed.
The little girl I killed.
Well, I read the stories in the Chicago Tribune.
Talk to someone else who knows all about it.
What about you? It was you. Why wouldn't?
Who the hell are you?
Just a reporter.
Get out of here, will you?
I mean, you confessed.
So what? So I did confess. And I did my time.
You said you were here in the 80s? Down here in Broward?
Did I say that?
I think so.
In the 80s?
Or you had been down to Fort Lauderdale before. That was why you came back down here, you said.
I didn't say that.
You said you had been down here before.
I didn't say that.
Well, why did you come back down to Fort Lauderdale?
I didn't come back down to Fort Lauderdale. I got out of prison down here.
I thought you were in prison up in Illinois.
I was in prison in Florida, too.
Oh, for not registering or whatever. I mean, but why did you come to Florida? Because it's warm, or because your mother's down here, or what?
They didn't come down here because they were down here.
You said you have 13 kids. Why'd you say that?
What are you asking?
I don't know. Because that was a curious thing to say. Huh?
What?
Do what?
Do what?
Well, I just thought you might have more to say about your life, the path that you've taken.
It's not wrong.
I mean, so much time has passed. From the stories that I read, it was in the 1970s that you snatched that girl.
What?
The stories said that it was in the 1970s that you snatched a girl from her yard and raped her and stabbed her, and then for some reason you confessed. It was heavy on your conscience, right? You wanted to come clean, I guess. You don't want to talk about it?
About what?
About that little girl. I thought maybe if you wanted to talk about it, that this would be a good chance to do that. No? Do you? Do you still think about it?
Think about what?
That little girl that you
Get out of here.
killed.